Hi there, this is Mark Stokes-Denson of Denson Blake Investments, and I just wanted to show you a project that we're working on at the moment. I wanted to demonstrate what's actually going on behind the specification, what actually gets done, so that we can understand more about what the property is going to entail. And it's a personal thing. I like working this way because I can show what a property is going to look like. I can show, and when I change things, I can adjust it when I need to. So, let's go through it. I'll show you what the property looks like at the moment. This is it. It's an old workshop in the south part of Liverpool. You can see the old garage. The asbestos roof was taken off, and I've got a tin roof. Got all the internals, the King Truss. This is in the extended part, the outrigger, if you like. We've got 3-phase in the building. There's some blurred pictures, nice. Different height in the floor, and what have you. Yeah, there you go. And this is the back. So we've got an inflection in the roof where the ridge has failed or is going. Yeah, so that's the site as is. As most people do, we have drawings done by an architect who then went to the site, measured, and produced the scheme that we wanted. So this is to make an 11-bed HMO, mainly en suite. Two of the bedrooms on each floor share or off suite. And as you can see here, behind a sort of fire door. So these two rooms share this, and it's not really something these would get involved in. We've got communal space, kitchen, dining, a workspace and a gym area. We're demolishing the garage and the outside toilet and coal shed, if you like, to make this. Got cycle storage and a hard paved area, or a hard landscaped area. This is the ground floor. Pretty much seen that from the details before, but this is a building regs drawing, so it actually goes into a bit of detail about what it actually involves. This is the upstairs, so you can see the roof lights that are in the roof to bring light into the habitable rooms where there's no windows at the back. The smokestacks, that's what these are, and these are sky lanterns to light the hall area and the bathrooms and things like that. This is a bathroom, etc, etc. Yeah, so there it is, and this is the the upstairs part. So we've got a small little kitchen here, just to give some more a kitchen that other people can use as opposed to one downstairs. Bedrooms, etc, etc. Okay, now what we do go further with is this. We actually have a model made, and it's an as-built model. So what this will be, or is drawn from the architect's plans. So if we just take a very quick look, it's even got the elevation on the land as well for the drainage. If you look, you can see how if you look down on it, you can see how the land is raised as it goes up. And we can see that the boundary walls, the building's not straight compared to the boundary wall, etc, etc. So we got a real sense of what the thing's going to look like when it's done. We can move around it dead easy, which is great. We can see all the V-looks. The great thing about this is we can actually geolocate it as well. So when it comes to the actual model, when we want to, at the moment this is just orientated on the X, Y, and Z axes, which you can see sort of behind here. But we can actually bring in the Google Maps location actually. Put that in and put everything around it, so we can actually pull up the housing around it so it casts shadows correctly, and use the actual geolocation, and then we can orientate the building in the right place. And the reason you can do that is handy. Purely from aesthetics, you can understand how the lighting is going to work, because you can actually pull in the shadows, and with this software we can actually start to show different times of year and various other things. I'm not going to go into that right now because there's not much point. But there's quite a lot we can do with this. We're going to knock off shadows, we don't need them on. And we can see the cladding, we can work out how big that is and how many square metres we need. We can work out the roof space, again, how many square metres of roof space we have. Guttering lengths, we can take off the roof and see how the walls configured and how high they are at the highest point, start to work out the square metres of plasterboard we'll need. This has been, because we've sent a very specific instruction to the people that did this for us, and I asked them to model it. I'd shown them a model I had done personally, to show them what I expected, and I took them through that on a video animation, and then they've then followed that and understood how I want them to work. So what I have now is, what I want is, like I say, an as-built model. So we can see here, if you zoom in, you can see the floor joist in the floor. This is the I-beam, so you can see it here slightly. This is the steel that's holding up the floor, bearing the weight of the floor. So we know obviously that these joists are in separate lengths and that they carry on. So we can very quickly work out how many lengths of joists we need to make that floor. We know what the square meterage is very quickly because, again, well, we know that by measuring, but it's nice to have something that you can refer to that is not necessarily relying on your scruffy sketch, let's say, from site when you first went. I like the fact that we can take a dimension anywhere we want. If I want to know what the distance is between X and Y, I can pull that and find that out. And we can just put points and actually know that that's 7095 metres. So just 7.1 metres basically. We've got the span of 600, so we can see that. If we go further down, we can go into the gym area, the workspace area, and start to see what that looks like. You can see the room shapes, the bathrooms, the en-suites. We will be putting in all the features. The kitchen will be put into here, the settees, the gym equipment, the toilets, the bathrooms, the showers. We'll put all that in, and then we can bring into this the actual tiles and the floor coverings and just make sure we're happy with it. And it then gives us a decent spec to give to the builder. And again, we can work out here everything to do with the this space. So if I want to know for the hard flooring area how big it is, I can very quickly just chuck some dimensions around and start to get a sense of how big that is. I can then start to quantify that up so that I know of those feature stones how many of those I need. And the same with the hard area, I can work this out as well. Just by, well, as you see, we just literally chuck dimensions and everything. So I was at an exhibition the other week, and during the exhibition I met some different suppliers and I explained this project to them. And one of them was a roofing company. I told them they've got a fiberglass roof potentially going on the building, and they were convinced that they'd be able to do something that was better for less money. So I've sent them a JPEG drawing of this with the dimensions on, so they can see it. I've told them that the size of that's 31 square metres, but it's a parapet, they can see it, so it needs upstands. We may change this on site, but at the moment that's what it is. We've got obviously skylights here, Velux windows, or roof lights. I don't like to use product names, but they're roof lights. But we may use something different to the normal brand. But yeah, you can start to see what this thing's going to look like. And what's great about it is, once it's all, I mean, at the moment this is a bit like going into a site when it's been dry lined and whitewashed perhaps. But what's great about it is once we've put all the design into it, we can actually walk around the thing. And I like this from the point of view of understanding what it's going to look like and feel like as you're in the building. So we can have a look at what it look like when you're in the exercise bike, what that's going to look like, what you see. Is it nice space? We're going to put some maybe seating outside here, so it's a bit more. Yeah, it's a bit nicer. We head around here. I think on the model all the doors are closed at the moment, so I'm going to have to open those up because when I walk, it stops me walking around fully because it knows it's a solid object, so it won't let me in. This is the common area. So this, wind back. This is where we'll put the workspace along here with sockets. Up ahead through here is a common lounge area, so we'll put some chairs, TV, etc, etc. Straight ahead, that's where the kitchen will be, and dining area. So there'll be a dining space. I'll have to sort of crash through this door because it won't let me go through it because it knows it's solid, so it won't like this. Just bear with me. If we can get the doors open in future, it'll make life a bit easier. We're now in the hall, so we can start to have a look round as if in the building. So once this is all done and got the entrance matting, the carpet, the wall colour, the door colours, etc., we get a real sense of what it's going to look like. Now we can look up into the hall space and the stairwell. We're actually going to box in under here for storage and make this a place where we're cleaning and put things like mops, buckets, etc, etc. We do have a service cupboard already. Through the other side of that door is a service cupboard. If we just head up the stairs a minute, we'll head up. We can hack round into the upstairs. So we've got let's spin round a minute. Oh, that's gone back downstairs. Oops. I've dropped back down the stairs, obviously fallen through a hole somewhere. Novel. Let's head back round again. That's better. I'm up there now. Right, sorted. So we can see how, as you get upstairs, I mean, this, let's say it's a white card. It's what I call it's a white card version. So it's just like everything whitewashed. So it's blank canvas at the moment. But we can start to see how we're keeping the trusses in, so we can see how they intersect with the space, what they're going to look like in the actual building. You can see it here above the head, that we'll see part of the roof structure. You can see the purlins, they're going to remain, and we're just keeping this as some sort of interest. And this will be wooden treated. We've got obviously the roof insulated, etc, etc. Probably not going to be glass, to be fair, because that would be quite expensive to do that in structural glazing. So we'll probably find an alternative solution to that. But the point is we can then change it. If I pop out, if I just pop out a moment. Now, for example, I mentioned changing elements and doing different things. So the builder has suggested that instead of building the extension in blockwork and then rendering the thing, that maybe we look at doing this part in brick, because once it's done it then doesn't need rendering, because by building in blockwork we have to render it to finish it, whereas if it's done in brick it is a finished surface. So it just means that what we can do is, with this model, is get an idea of what that might look like in brick and how it works with the existing building that we're proposing. And the beauty of it is it's instantaneous, so I can come out and go, yeah, am I happy with that? Does that look okay? Does that look nice or not? And once it's rendered, it will do photorealistic rendering as well with lighting software that you can add to this. And because then we can locate it, we can bring sunlight into it and see how it interacts with the sun and with any dark patches, and it gives us a very good idea of how the building's going to behave. That gives a very good idea of what things are going to look like and if it's going to work with what the builder potentially going to work with thinks. So that's the model. We can section through and cut any parts I want out, which is handy as well. again, it's nice being able to understand how the building's going together and being able to talk you through with the builder. They know, but it's nice being able to see everything properly. This is, these sort of things you can't do on a building that's built, but we can see then how the king trusses come into these rooms at the front of the building. We can see what the hallway looks like. We can see what the rooms look like at the front. I can see the steel. This is the steel that's holding the floor up just here and here. And these are the floor joists. So we can colour those up so it's crystal clear that they're floor joists. We can put the floorboarding in. It can all be done properly so that we've got a very, very accurate model that is going to be as built. And then equally, there's no confusion on site because the builder has. Once it's done, I can give him sections and snapshots and literally save any part I want of the building so that he's got reference to exactly what we're after. So it's now not just building regs drawings. We can actually say, well, this is the wall colour, this is the feature wall, this is where the bed's going, this is how the bathroom will look, these are the tiles, this is the floor covering for the hall and the stairs, this is what goes in the bedrooms, this is the floor covering for the hall, the common area, etc. And we can actually bring all the textures in, like we've done with the cladding, actually bring all the textures in so that we can make sure that we're happy with the look of the thing. And then we can, like we've just done, cut the front of the house off like a doll's house and show the builder what the rooms look like. We'll do the same at the back, or take the roof off, or cut a section through here at the roof line and down here. So we've not just got a floor plan that's flat, we've got a floor plan that's actually got everything in it in the right colour. So he can just go, oh, well, that's the wall of asphalt, that's where the bed's going, dead easy. They can just get on with it, and it's less hassle on site. So I just wanted to share that. That's the model that's being created, so I'm going to come out of that. And ultimately, this is what it leads to. So in the middle of creating a specification, these are the steels. We've had those priced because we've had the model done. We can see how far they span. We've had the structural engineers calcs done, so they've been sent off to the supplier. That's the price that's come back. So that's for the steel in the building. We've got, we know how many fire resistant boards we are because we've got the total square meterage of the floor and ceiling, so we can double that, plus we've got to add in the service cupboard, etc, etc. So we've been able to quantify that up. How many toilets, how many showers, right down to everything. We've sent these are approximate sizes, obviously, because until it gets to site we don't know exactly. But obviously here we've quantified the size of the windows, electrics, all that has been sent with the plans to the electrician, waiting for the cost back for that. We can look at all the joinery works. We've got cost for the doors, the hinges, making the place to put letters in the hallway, boxing it under the stairs and making a storage cupboard out of that, etc. Paint deco, external works, hard paving. There's more to add in there because we'll obviously put all the different types of hard paving on the feature and label them up and say we need X amount of square metres, that X amount of square metres this. Builder skips, and it's all there. 11 double beds, acros, diggers, plant, 40 skips. So that's how we're creating a specification for that job and why we're using the model. The model allows us to actually look at the building as it's going to be built and go, right, what is this and how's that going to be made and what we're doing. And that helps then understand, from my point of view, what actually needs to go into the specification. So I wanted to share that with you to give you an insight into how I create a spec and work with a project to make sure that the refurbishment is done for the money it should be, and so the builder knows what they're doing and we all understand what's happening. That's the idea of this. So I just thought I'd share that with you for a moment. Well, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope that gives you a bit of an insight into what we do at Denson Blake Investments when we've got a project to deal with. And yeah, thanks for watching. Take care. Happy investing.